Yo, this is Ordaned1 with episode 4. Wow, already episode 4. Well, let's get on with the show. Today I'll be answering questions from the following people: Balperthebalp and Nicholasvine123. Alright, let's get to the questions. Alright, Nick, Balperthebalp. First question is, in the last episode you said that Resident Evil 4 is overrated. Explain your statement. Well, when I said it was overrated, don't get it the wrong way. I didn't mean it as Resident Evil 4 not being a good game. I just said it was overrated because Resident Evil 4, yeah, I have to give it some props. It took a huge step as in improving gameplay, but at the same time it changed a little too much to where it didn't really feel like a Resident Evil game. It just felt like I was just playing a survival horror game. Alright, let me explain why. Okay. The zombies in Resident Evil 4, they weren't really zombies. They were just regular human beings who had got corrupted by this virus, which wasn't even a T-virus. It was just like some type of, last time I played it, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a bite from like a mosquito or something. Can't remember. But like, yeah, and they weren't really zombies. They weren't dead. They were communicating with each other. And I just thought that kind of teed me off, because zombies are known for being silent killers, not being tactical and smart and talking. That takes away the scare. That takes away all the things that make a zombie scary. A zombie is scary because it's dumb as heck, but it's quiet, and they come in numbers, and they just look grotesque. And that's why. And the gameplay was improved, but it wasn't anything I haven't seen before in games, in playing a game before. So I give Resident Evil an 8 out of 10. It's a great game. If you're a Resident Evil fan, play Resident Evil 4, but I just thought it was just a little overrated. I didn't mean overrated as in it sucked and people were just bragging on it too much. Alright. His second question was, what is your favorite Mario game and why? My favorite Mario game would be Super Mario Brothers. That was my first Mario game I ever played. Whenever I had my Nintendo, I loaned it to my cousin, and whenever I'd spend the night at my cousin's house, we'd play that like religiously on and on for like 24 hours. Yeah, so that's my favorite Mario game. 3. Do you think games are better with cutscenes like modern day, or like without them? I think games are better with the cutscenes because it gives you a more cinematic movie type approach to the story, and it helps you to understand the story a lot better than what it is you're supposed to do in the game. 4. What is your favorite system of all time and why? My favorite system of all time, I'm going to have to give that to the Sega Genesis, because that's the first system I ever owned, and the Sega is what brought me into gaming, as well as the games itself, which inspired me to do what currently I'm studying to do. And Sega just did a lot for me. I'm not saying the Sega is the best system out of all of them, but I'm just saying it from childhood. Sega was the stuff. Alright. Nicholasvine123, he asked me, what is your favorite RPG? My favorite RPG, that's going to Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, I love the story, I love the characters, and I love the story and the character development, and I love the gameplay as well. Although previous Final Fantasy games haven't really impressed me a lot. A lot of these games that I love playing, they're making good sequels, but not too up to the standards of what they used to be. I played 12. Didn't really like 12 too much. 13. I haven't played 13. What? I don't know. I don't even know if 13 came out or not. 11. I don't know what they were thinking with 11. And 10. I liked 10. 10 was it was okay. It wasn't like out of this world, just like awesome. It was okay as far as it being a game or RPG. And a lot of people tend to well in on 10 a lot, saying, oh, it was the worst in the series, it's what killed the series. But actually 10 delivered a lot more than a lot of other video games. I mean, a lot of other Final Fantasy games. Alright. 2. What video game controller do you like the most? The video game controller I like the most, that's going to the Sony, because the Sony controller is a lot simple. You only need to use one analog stick. You don't have to use two, one for the camera angle and the other for the character. It's simple, especially for games like Grand Theft Auto. I only have to move just one analog stick. It's simple, easy, and it helps you out. What video game controller do you hate the most? The video game controller that I hate the most, well, I don't really hate it, but on a scale, because I think it's a good controller, but on a scale, that's going to the Xbox. Now, as I continued to play the Xbox and got used to the controller, I actually started to fall in love with the controller, but I'm basing it on past issues. I didn't like, back then I didn't like the fact that you had to use one analog stick for the camera and the other one to move the character. I thought it was too complicated, had too many buttons, but as I progressed in playing Xbox, I got used to the controller. So, alright, his next question was, what first-person shooter do you like the most? The first-person shooter that I like the most, that is definitely going to GoldenEye. GoldenEye was the first-person shooter I ever played. I played that religiously. I beat that game like a billion times, but can never get the secret levels. If anybody know how to get the secret levels, please tell me. I need to complete this game. Well, I did complete it. It just had secret levels. Alright. 5. What is your favorite online game? I haven't really played too many of the online games, but from what I've seen from friends, they say it's pretty cool because you get to play with people all over and you get to communicate, and the experience is a lot better. There's a lot more that the online game delivers more than the game itself. So I'm going to have to check out the online games a lot more than what I have. Alright. 6. What next gen console do you think will fail? As of right now, I hate to say this, I'm a real Sony fan, but if Sony doesn't pick up the pace, the future is not looking too bright for Sony at all. Sony needs to drop its sales and stop being so money hungry. They're going to get good sales regardless. Just lower your prices. But I have faith that this year coming up, they're going to do better, because I think they're planning on dropping their sales, and they have some really good games like Metal Gear Solid 4 and Grand Theft Auto 4 and a lot of these other game systems that's made Sony one of the #1 sellers in the previous years. So if they drop their sales plus the new game titles that are coming out, I think they can pick up the pace. What next gen console do you think will be the most successful? As of right now, the Wii is looking, well, I'm talking as of right now, because, you know, sales could like drastically, the whole situation can drastically change the situation. That's what I love about gaming, and financially and politically, because they can be on top one season, then the next season they're doing terrible. So as of right now, the Wii is selling like hotcakes, and the Wii is here to stay, and I don't see the Wii going anywhere anytime soon. Alright, this is Ordaned1, episode 4, signing out.